Lord. Today be a good day today, and whoever is sick, if I feel better, in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Do that.
So today we're going to be preaching about Titus.
Oh, we're going to be teaching about Titus. Okay. Oh,
Come in.
So open door. Sister Joe is here.
Mm-hmm.
Sister Tina is not here. And the brother Noah is here. Sister Gracie ain't here. Titus is here. Sister Lily is here.
Am I?
And Jackson ain't here. So,
how many total is that?
4. There's 4 people here.
5.
No,
Come on, do the math.
4.
Okay.
Stop or you're going to go in the hallway.
Oh.
Okay. Get out.
You got it down?
Brother Noah, you put us out in the hallway.
Okay.
Okay. So, everyone turn to 2 Corinthians 8:23.
I forgot my Bible. And my phone's out there.
Shame.
shame. Give him the word of shame.
Thank you, Brother Titus.
I forgot where 2 Corinthians are.
I love this teacher. He's so handsome. Okay. It says, I will win.
Don't make me treat you like toddlers and build Legos.
What?
Don't make me treat you like toddlers and build Legos.
I like Legos. Okay, what do I got to look for?
Okay.
2
2
Corinthians.
Corinthians 8:23.
23.
2 Corinthians.
I'm there.
899. Where is it?
Phone a friend to help you, please.
I know.
That's what they do. That's what they do in school.
Phone a friend. Okay. You want help, sissy?
I need
Genesis, Acts, Romans.
I need 899. And I went past it. Shoot.
So we need, that's 1 Corinthians. So we need 2 Corinthians 8:23.
823. I had a bookmark.
Do you really?
You're zooming in on
Yeah,
me.
look.
Okay.
Okay, which one is?
And 23.
23.
Okay, Sister Joe, will you read it, please?
Yes. Whether any do inquire of Titus, he is my partner in crime, and he's my fellow helper. Sometimes we have fights concerning you. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, whether any do inquire of Titus, he is my partner and fellow helper concerning you, or our brethren be inquired of. They are the messengers of the church and the glory of Christ.
Okay, and Brother Noah, will you turn to Galatians 21:3?
Yes, sir.
Phone a friend if you need help.
Okay.
What is it?
21:3.
What?
Galatians.
Oh,
Galatians.
It's right after Corinthians. Galatians what?
21.
There's no
Glad you said
21.
2.
Oh, 2:21?
No, 2:13.
2:13.
Oh, 2:13.
You want me to read it?
Yes.
And the other Jews disassembled likewise with him, insomuch that Barnabas also was carried away with their dissimulation.
Okay. So, Titus was a Greek Christian, and he was a trusted co-worker of Paul. And so Paul told Titus to go to this island named Crete. And this is it's a very big island, but it's not the biggest island. There is other bigger islands, and there is no churches because there is this group that there's this these people that are groups of 3 that tears churches down. And so Paul told Titus to go to this island and build churches. Okay. Sanchez, okay. And this island's named Crete, okay? Cretan is a culture. Greek, kretzo, kretzo means to be a liar, to be a certain. And then natros for treachery of like this like bad stuff. Like if you do this like bad stuff, which is like I don't know how like if you say it, if you do like the bad stuff, you will be sent out of the island.
So if you do something bad, you get put off the island?
Yes.
Okay.
Like exiled.
Yes, exiled.
But Paul wanted Titus to go to this island to build many churches, but he couldn't do it by himself.
No,
So-
so he had to have no one. Oh. Sorry.
They were corrupt leaders. Okay, so Paul wanted Titus to go get people that are elders and their fathers and they're like people that are husbands and have been there on the island for a long time. So basically elders to help him build and churches and stuff. They were like mature husbands and fathers known as integrity.
Known as what?
Integrity.
Interrogating? No?
Well, how do you say it? How do you...
INTEG.
Well, let's look up what that means. Okay, what? Okay.
Intriguing? Is that what you're saying?
Intriguing. Oh, is it intriguing?
Yeah, that is.
Okay, what is intriguing?
What is it?
What is it? Hey,
EGRITY.
The quality of being honest and having strong moral principles, moral uprightness. Did I get thrown?
Yes.
It's integrity. That's
Like,
integrity.
yeah, like.
Yes. Oh,
So
to be
these
honest.
people, yeah,
to
these
be honest.
people that Paul told Titus to go
Oh,
get.
to go get
Paul
honest
had to be
people.
honest and strong and be able not to get their emotions hurt and like to be very strong in the word.
Okay.
But this island didn't know much about God. Well, they used to because there was churches, but
They
these
got torn
people turned them down. Okay, and so they were corrupt leaders, and they were really, that's what they were called, corrupt leaders. That's what they called them. And Paul reminded Titus to hope eternal life, promised by a God who does not lie. Because God don't lie, and he wants to have his people be the strongest person. And Paul told Titus to go to this island because he had very much trust in Titus.
Oh.
It's basically like how God wanted Jonah to go to Nineveh, but he didn't want to. But it's like Paul, he wanted Titus to go to this island. And so, eternal life promised by God that he does not lie. And people on this island imagine a person named Zeus. Zeus, yes. Zeus. And that lived on their island. But Zeus did not he liked to lie to women to get their way. So he could do all, but I mean, they imagine him and they imagine that he lived on an island, but he's a bad person because he liked to lie, especially women, to get their way and get so he won.
Lie to us.
We'll start it. Too late. Okay. Titus had a task to appoint new leaders, which I said, that are elders, a mature husband and fathers known for integrity. Okay? And they have to have self-control, generosity. They are able to teach good news about God that Titus told them to do. But they were very questioning. They didn't know who sent Titus, but they did learn why it did to send churches, because his people were tearing them down and no one knew why. But on this island, it was a very quiet island. And and confront the corrupt leaders. That's what they wanted, to confront and take these corrupt leaders down. Because that were tearing down the churches, and teach them a very good lesson that the people need God. People need teaching of their lives. And the people were known as those of the circumstances. They were known as the circumstances because
They were what? How is it spelled?
consequences.
Consequences, okay.
They knew they had to do good because of their consequences of being sentenced out of the island.
Right.
Or being even killed to death.
Killed to death.
Mm. Sorry. Go ahead. Go.
It's good. It's good.
They said that they were ethnically Jewish, Cretan, which is the island Cretan. Or Crete, but it goes as Cretan. A Christian, and they said that Jesus followed, because Jesus followed Titus as he went and protected him. And Paul saw that, and that's why he sent Titus to go to this island.
Because he was a strong man.
Yes, he was a strong man. Just like Jonah.
Just like
he
you.
knew he had it in him, but he was scared.
Right. That's right. That is
He
true.
really wanted to go to Nineveh, but he didn't because he was scared. But he wanted to teach to those people that got slapped with fish.
You got slapped with fish?
Yeah.
No, Jonah got slapped with fish?
No, people did, but anyways.
Anyways.
Oh, if we talk about Elijah's class, he talked about being slapped with fish?
VeggieTales.
Oh, VeggieTales.
Yeah.
Where am I at, man?
Okay, so this island, he built many churches, and they got to this group of people that were tearing down churches, and they caught them trying to tear down, but they didn't succeed, and they got kicked out of the island.
Who?
These people that were trying to tear out the
they got kicked out of the island?
Yes.
Oh, that's good.
So, everyone turn to Titus.
Titus.
Timothy. There we go, Titus.
Okay.
Okay. I gotta find it.
What chapter?
Okay, chapter 1, verse 1.
Okay.
Paul is a servant of God and an apostle of Jesus Christ according to the faith of God.
Timothy. Hold on, we haven't got to Titus.
Oh.
You got Titus. Titus what?
1:1.
One.
Oh, you're right.
My tab.
You're right.
Okay, I'm going to start over.
Okay.
Paul is a servant of God and an apostle of Jesus Christ according to the faith of God, elect in the acknowledging of the truth, which is after godliness. Okay, so then turn to 1 Timothy.
Oh, 1 Timothy.
First.
Chapter 1, verse 1?
Yes. Well, no. Chapter 1, verse 6.
Okay.
1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 1.
Chapter 6, verse 1?
Yeah.
Chapter 6, verse 1? Or verse 1,
Chapter 6, verse 1.
Okay.
Oh, chapter 6. I was wrong.
All right.
Okay. 1 Timothy 6
1.
and 1. Okay.
I do.
let as many, you all found it?
Yes.
Let as many servants that are under the yoke count their own masters, worthy of all honor, that the name of God and his doctrine be not blasphemed.
Do you know what blasphemy means?
Yes. So, does anyone not know what blasphemy means?
Do you know what blasphemy means?
Not really.
Okay.
Okay, so blasphemy means, am I saying it right?
Blasphemy.
Yeah.
Blasphemy.
So anyway, that means, so basically you're doing something to kind of make fun of God.
Kind of like you making fun of, maybe making fun of the pastor.
You know how Brother Elijah gets moving in the spirit?
Yeah.
Like, be like someone new coming in the church and kind of thinking something of Elijah, or because he's
And they
doing
make
that.
fun of him dancing.
But because God has called him to do that, he's getting in the spirit to do that.
Okay, here's a definition. The act or offense of speaking sacrilegiously about God or sacred things, profane talk. Like speaking against God, blaspheming, like there is no God, speaking against God.
Okay.
Okay, not much far, but 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy verse 4.
Second Timothy.
Chapter
what
one.
Verse 4.
Chapter one.
What chapter?
Chapter 1 verse 4.
4.
You got it?
Yes.
Greatly desiring to see thee, being mindful of thy tears, that I may be filled with joy. Because after Titus after he got this mission done of building these churches, praise centers and stuff, he was crying in joy and laughter because he did what God and Paul told him to do.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And Paul did the same too. He was very happy that he got the buildings done. Very happy. So, may I take my phone? Well, first,
Oh, we got homework?
Oh my gosh.
We got homework?
okay, first,
Wasn't expecting this.
maybe close your Bibles.
Okay.
We got a test?
I didn't know church had tests.
You want your phone for the times?
Why do we have a test?
Okay, so, I want
You ready?
everyone
to write down stuff?
to try to make a church of your own.
Oh.
Oh.
Let's do a chair.
Yeah, I can't draw.
Okay, Mom. Okay. Sister Joe.
He slipped up.
Thank you, Brother Titus. Are you okay, Brother Noah?
Uh-huh.
Okay, we
We
gotta
got a
make
chair right there if you need it.
Oh,
Mari
okay.
building me
He
one.
didn't get you one, did he?
No, that's okay though.
Brother Titus, Brother Noah needs help. Yes.
Okay.
No,
got your
I'm okay.
friends.
You're okay now?
Yeah, I got my Bible.
Okay, he said he's okay. Okay.
You
We're
got
gonna draw a church?
A church. And I'm gonna put 5 minutes on the timer.
Okay, 5 minutes
Oh
on the
my
side.
gosh, it's so little. Why?
Actually, I'm gonna give you 3 minutes.
3 minutes to build a church?
Yes.
Can we start now?
Brother
Let's start
Titus.
That's mean.
3 minutes to build a church. 3 minutes to build a church. Build a church. Putting it on the top like that.
Nice
Okay.
ball.
Papers.
creative.
Or no, turn it around and keep your chair.
Alright.
You can maybe
Turn
pull
around
the
and
chair
keep
around if you want.
Turn around and keep the chair. Okay.
This chair's
Okay.
beautiful.
Okay. Oh, we got to get a pen again?
Okay, I want you guys to take notes.
Oh, we're gonna take notes. Oh man.
I don't like taking notes.
Me neither. I don't like notes. We gotta take notes.
Boo!
Okay.
He's all over.
What kind of notes are we taking?
He's all over.
Is that your school or your
That's
home? Okay.
Wait, he has a computer.
Huh?
He has a computer.
He bought it himself with his money from
How much did it cost?
300.
300.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
I might start saving up money.
It's just a wall.
I might start saving up money so I can get a computer.
That's what you do. You save.
I try to save money, but they fail.
He's had that computer for a while. Where have you been?
I don't know.
It's been that long since you've been over to your other mother's house?
Uh-huh.
It has.
They were ethnically Jewish Cretans who said that they followed Jesus, but similar to the problems in Galatia, these people demanded that non-Jewish Christians be circumcised and follow the laws of the Torah if they really wanted to become followers of the Jewish Messiah. Paul says that they're obsessed with Jewish myths and human commands. And to top it off,
That's good.
Yeah.
they're just in the church leadership business
Turn down a little
to
bit
make
more.
money. And so Paul, in a brilliant move, he pulls a
Okay.
quote from an ancient Cretan poet, Epimenides, who was very frank and honest about the character of his own people. He said Cretans are always liars, vicious beasts, and lazy gluttons. They blur
Lazy
the
gluttons.
lines between true and false, between good and evil, and they're just in it for the money. And so while these leaders claim to know God, their Cretan way of life denies him. They have to be dealt with. And this leads Paul into the next section. Because of these corrupt leaders, many Christians in these churches now have homes and personal lives that are a total wreck. And 3 different times, Paul highlights the results of all this. The message about Jesus is discredited. Their non-Christian neighbors now have good cause to make evil accusations. And all of this makes the teaching about God, our Savior, totally unattractive and not compelling to anybody. So Paul paints a picture of the ideal Cretan household that is devoted to Jesus. It would be elderly
These
men
are like
and
what
women
the-
who are full of integrity and self-control, so they can become models of character to the young people. And the young women shouldn't be sleeping around
He
and
called
avoiding
upon these
marriage
people
as
so
was
they could-
fashionable in Cretan
so
times,
he could
but rather they
teach
should be
other
looking for
people
faithful partners so
and
they
be
can raise
modest
stable, healthy families.
about
And the young
God.
men are to do the same. They're to be known as productive, healthy citizens. Christian slaves on Crete were in a unique position because we know that because of the gospel, they were treated as equals in Paul's church communities. However, there was a danger that they would use that equality as license to disrespect their masters and then become associated with slave rebellions, which would further discredit the Christian message. You can see Paul negotiating a fine line here. He believes that the gospel about Jesus needs to prove its redemptive power in the public square if it's really going to transform Cretan culture. And that's not going to happen through social upheaval or by Christians cloistering away from urban life. The Christian message will be compelling to Cretans when Christians fully participate in public life, when their lives and homes look similar on the surface. Because after a closer look, their neighbors will discover that Christians live by a totally different value system out of devotion to a totally different God. And that's the difference that Paul beautifully summarizes at the end of chapter 2. He says the value system driving the Christian way of life is God's generous grace, which appeared in the person of Jesus and will appear again at his return. This grace was demonstrated when Jesus gave up his honor to die a shameful death on behalf of his enemies, so that he could rescue and redeem them. And it's that same grace that calls God's people to say no to corrupt ways of life that are inconsistent with the generous love of God. Paul then zooms out from the Christian household to a vision of Christians living like new humans in Cretan society. Of all people, Christians should be known as the ideal citizens, peaceable, generous, obedient to authorities, known for pursuing the common good. But this is really different from how Cretans grew up.
But Titus wasn't selfish. If he was selfish, he would have said, okay, I'm just going to build the churches myself. But he called upon those people that were strong.
Because he
also.
needed help.
It will take a lot more time to build the churches.
By yourself,
Yes.
especially when you're sick.
But you gotta have. But you gotta have. He had to have help. He had to get the people to change their ways into a Christian way and not live the life that they were living.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Good job.
Now-
That was pretty good.
It's 12:56, so
Wow, you did
a
good.
couple minutes, you're dismissed.